Tonight, the political career of Minnesota Democrat Al Franken could be in jeopardy. This after a Los Angeles radio host accused Franken of forcibly kissing and groping her during a 2016 USO tour. Franken was a comedian at the time. He admits to everything Lauren Tweeten says and apologizes for his actions, which include posing for a photo with his hands over her breasts as she slept. Democrats and Republicans calling for an ethics probe. Franken says he'll cooperate. I'm joined tonight by Mary David, human trafficking expert and former prosecutor in Maryland. Deborah Martins, account executive right here at WUSA 9. Anna Garatelli, reporter for the Washington Examiner. Ladies, I want to hear from you in just a minute. But first, Lauren Tweeten spoke to reporters today. She says she accepts Franken's apology. Take a listen to what she has to say.
The apology? Sure, I accept it. Yes. I mean, people make mistakes, and of course he knew he made a mistake. So yes, I do accept that apology. The ethics investigation, if that's what Mitch McConnell wants to do, that's on them. I'm not calling for that. If that's what he wants to do, okay, that's up to them. I think the tide is turning, and you know, what about all the women who don't have microphones and have a voice and can say something and then it's everywhere on the news? You know, what about the women who get assaulted every day and are afraid to speak out? I mean, look, I was afraid to speak out 11 years ago. I wanted to say something, and there were people around me who said, oh my God, you will get annihilated and you will never work in this town again. And I was afraid of that.
Ladies, let me ask you, is this a tipping point or are we beyond the tipping point? What's to come? Mary?
This really does seem like a game changer. The fact that so many women are speaking out, and women of influence that aren't afraid to talk about what's happened to them, it's really opening the door for more women to speak out.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, I think, you know, Senator Al Franken's the first one to sort of take the fall. You had Representative Barbara Comstock of Virginia say on Tuesday in a hearing, we need to start naming names. This is the first lawmaker in this recent, I would say, scandal to actually be named. So what happens with Franken from here on out could show how future cases in Congress go from here.
Well, what are your friends, what are your colleagues saying about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. And it's unfortunate that, you know, after all these series of events, we've seen Harvey Weinstein and people have been inspired, you know, to come out and share their piece, what has been going on, what's happening. It's disgusting, but it needs to be a conversation that needs to be had. Okay.
What happens at this point? Does the senator lose his job over this, you think? Should he lose his job over this?
It really, I think, will depend on the outcome of any sort of investigation that takes place. The fact that there is legislation, the Me Too legislation coming out that really will bolster transparency, bolster accountability, I think is going to create a dramatic shift in the future. Okay,
but Senator Franken, I mean, what do you need to investigate? He admits everything. He did it, okay? It happened some years ago, but he admits everything. He apologizes. Should that cost him his job? Will it cost him his job, given the climate?
If I'm Al Franken, especially at his age, you know, he's not a new senator, it's not the beginning of his career, I might think retirement. Because the way things are going, he has admitted it, he needs to think of his future. And certainly other members of Congress, I mean, we're talking about a different period in society where, you know, things you did decades ago, if they're coming out now, is that something you need to worry about? So I think other members of Congress need to look at this too and say, do I need to get out before the next election too?
I think you hit it on the head because there was a time where this was status quo. I mean, this was business as usual for not all, but for a lot of legislators up there. We all heard the rumors. Some of them made stories. And so now the chickens are coming home to roost. Do you not agree?
I agree.
Right. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, it's unacceptable behavior, and we are in a different day and age where, you know, once this gets exposed, you'll have to suffer the consequences. This is no longer something we can sweep under the rug.
Yeah, I want to move